Well, I'm awfully sorry about all this.
Logan, there's no need to apologize.
I've been there on time. If a colleague of mine hadn't been late to discuss a case.
Logan, don't rush. I'm in no hurry.
Okay. Take a table. I'll see you in 15 minutes, all right?
Okay, ta-ta.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sorry I made you late for your lunch date, boss.
Yeah, well, you're not going to make me any later. Now, you know how I want this case handled? You go to it, okay?
You don't have to growl at me.
That is my stomach. That stereophonic hunger you're hearing. Now, close the door on your way out.
Well, I need your time right now.
It's not that I don't like talking to you, Cliff. It's just, look, come back this afternoon, huh? Will you? Maybe I won't be here.
Right now? Pretty please?
All right. You got me. I'm a sucker for good manners. What is it?
Well, I'm on my way right now to have a meeting with Mike Karr, and I know that you and he met a couple days ago.
And you're wondering if your name came up in conversation?
Well, it's only logical that he'd ask for a recommendation.
Well, you didn't offer to grease my palm, so I decided to tell him the truth. Let him know exactly what I think about you.
What'd you do that for? What'd he say? Come on, you gotta tell me. I gotta prepare my defense statement.
I told him you were a very fine attorney, the best assistant on my staff.
You did?
And then I told him you were also a klutz, but he should try to ignore that, difficult as it might be.
Thanks, I think.
Oh, good. Give my regards to Mike. Terrific, terrific. Maggie, I am out to lunch. Oh, fine, fine. No, you'll have to let her in, otherwise she'll park herself out there all day, won't you? Okay. Yeah, right. You owe me one for this. If it hadn't been for you, I'd be gone by now. Come in, Raven, come in. What is it you wanted?
Hi. I was just in the neighborhood, and I thought you might like to go out to lunch.
Funny, I just lost my appetite.
I have to talk to you.
If you came here for idle conversation, you came to the wrong place.
Oh, no, this is the right place. You're the district attorney? Well, this is a police matter.
Oh, well, if this is official business, let me refer you to my colleague here, Mr. Nelson. You know Mr. Nelson, of course.
Hi, Clifford. How are you?
Hello, Raven. Mrs. Swift. Sorry, I can't help you. You see, we underlings only get an hour for lunch, and I got a very important meeting.
I have to talk to you.
And if I wanted to talk to you, I couldn't now.
Can't you spare just one little second of your
I'm
precious
late
time?
for a luncheon appointment. I've kept her waiting long enough as it is.
Her? Sounds like a luncheon date.
What's it to you?
You seeing another woman?
I'm meeting April. Satisfied?
Oh, great. That's very nice. My husband and my best friend. It's classic.
We are having lunch together, and then we are going to the hospital to visit her daughter. And before you ask, 3 would definitely be a crowd.
Sounds like the two of you are very cozy.
I'm leaving right now.
Oh, Logan, don't get so defensive. I just want to have a nice, quiet little talk.
We don't have nice, quiet little talks. We have loud, ugly arguments.
Hasn't April talked to you yet?
That is another thing. I don't like the way you're using her. I don't want her in the middle of our problems.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't find another way to get a message to you. You have made yourself totally inaccessible to me in mind and body.
You must have given her quite a performance. You almost had her convinced that you were a changed woman, that the reason you wanted Jamie back was because you loved him so much.
Well, I'd like to convince you of the same thing.
Okay, all right. We will talk about it. We will sit down and try to talk sensibly, but not now.
Okay. I'll wait here.
You wait? See those papers on my desk? What do you think they're for? They're not for making paper airplanes.
Well, then let's have dinner tonight.
All right. I guess we might as well get it over with as soon as possible.
Great. I will give you a call, and we'll pick a restaurant.
Fine. Now, what was this police matter that you wanted to talk to me about?
It has to do with your choice of babysitters. I must say that as a mother, I vehemently object to your hiring cops to babysit for Jamie.
They're also friends.
I thought you loved Jamie. I think that's totally irresponsible. Hiring people who know nothing about caring for babies.
They're learning, which is more than you ever did.
I want you to call them off immediately.
Why, Raven, why? So I'll hire some elderly matron that you can wheedle Jamie away from without any problem?
I want you to call them off for Jamie's sake.
They are staying for Jamie's sake. Now I've got to go.
So do I.
Dinner tonight is going to be just swell.
I'm real glad you decided to accept my offer, Miles.
Well, you know, the more of that forensic work I do, the more I enjoy it. It's going to be quite a challenge.
In a month from now, you're going to be our top medical detective.
Now, we're going to miss Herb Fisher in that lab. I learned an awful lot from him.
Yeah, we're all sorry to see him retire. His know-how certainly pulled me through on a few cases.
It's quite an act to follow.
I have complete confidence in you, Miles.
Well, what I have to do now is work out some kind of a schedule where I can spend enough time down at headquarters and at my office.
I'm glad this town doesn't have a crime rate high enough to warrant a full-time forensics division.
Well, I'll tell you, I wouldn't have taken the job if I'd had to give up my private practice.
I know. That's why I'm glad everything worked out so well. You know that you were Doc Fisher's only real choice for this job. Of course, I backed him all the way.
Well, you know, that's very generous of you, considering everything.
Well, I did consider everything. That's why I wasn't even sure whether or not you'd accept this job, knowing that you're going to have to work hand in hand with me.
There's no problem there.
There used to be.
It's all in the past.
Is it all over?
It's history, Derek. It's history I would rather forget. Let's face it, I acted like a damn fool. I know it. I owe you an apology. I owe an even bigger apology to Nicole.
You don't owe me an apology, and I'm sure Nicole doesn't need one either.
No, as a matter of fact, she doesn't.
Well, that sounds like everything's back to normal again.
If normal is a synonym for wonderful, yeah, it is.
I'm glad to hear that, Miles. I know how wonderful life can be when you've got a terrific lady to share it with.
Well, there are more than a few terrific ladies left in this town. At least so I've heard.
It's a coincidence you should say that right now. Hello, Raven.
Hello, Chief. Hi, Doctor.
What you doing in this part of town?
Well, I've just been to criminal court to visit the district attorney, and I thought I'd stop and have some lunch.
Well, the crowd seems to be thinning out. You ought to be able to get a table.
I'm sorry I didn't come here sooner. I see you're already finished, or I would be aggressive and liberated and invite myself to lunch.
Well, I could certainly use a second cup of coffee. How about you, Miles?
No, as a matter of fact, I can't. I gotta rush back to the office. Don't let me hurry.
Oh, hey. That's on the department.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Raven. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I'll tell Nicole you said hello.
Please do. I'll sit down.
Thanks. Would you like some coffee? Oh, yes, please.
I'd like some more, too, please.
So, I hope I didn't interrupt any police chit-chat.
Well, if I'm not going to worry about it, don't you worry about it.
Well, I'm happy we bumped into each other.
I am, too.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
Good. I was worried you'd be upset.
What would I be upset?
Didn't you hate yourself this morning?
No. Why should I hate myself this morning? Nothing happened last night.
Well, I thought you'd be kicking yourself for not seizing the moment.
I told you before that I usually don't even kiss on the first date.
Well, I usually don't throw myself at every man I meet either, but I just didn't want you to think less of me for what I did last night.
I don't. Little dinner party was the nicest one I've been to in a long time.
Oh, it was so nice, but you just had to refuse dessert.
Raven,
Yes.
we are going to take this little relationship one step at a time.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Okay.
By the way, I just thought that you might like to know the reason I went to see Logan, because it does concern you.
Oh? Is he going to be coming after me with a shotgun?
No. Our relationship is none of his business.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with his babysitters. It seems he hired 3 off-duty policemen to take care of my son.
Stoner, Saxon, and Guthrie, sure.
You know about it? How could you okay that? It seems like a total waste of manpower to me.
Well, the 3 of them are taking care of Jamie on their own time. I've got no control over what they do.
That seems ridiculous.
Well, it may be a little bit unorthodox.
To say the least. Oh, Derek, I'm sure that if you give it some thought, that way down deep inside, you'll feel exactly the way I do.
It was kind of eerie. I didn't dream about Draper's ghost. I dreamt about Draper at times when he was still alive.
Well, I'm certainly no expert about it. It seems to me I read someplace that dreams often represent our wishes and our hopes. And we all wish Draper was alive.
Yeah. Also dreamt about the carousel.
What?
Didn't Draper ever tell you about that?
No, can't say as he ever did.
Well, then I guess I'm going to have to relate the whole story
Well,
to
I
you.
just guess you are.
Okay, well, not too long after Draper I met, after I'd gotten out of the Claremont and all, Draper and I went on a picnic in the country. You know, it was the day I think that I really knew that I was in love with Draper.
Sounds like a pretty special day, all right.
It was very special. It was in the beginning of spring. You know, it rained. We didn't even notice it, though. We were troopers, you know. We spread out our picnic blanket, and Draper and I and the ants and the bees had a lovely meal. And after we ate, Draper and I went and took a walk. And that's when we came upon this big, old carousel. It was closed, and it had these beautiful horses, you know, replicas, wooden horses, the old wooden horses. There must have been about 100 of them. They even had one of those brass rings, you know, that you grab for.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah. Draper slipped the caretaker $10 so that he'd open it up just for the two of us.
Carousel just for two, very romantic.
Yeah. You know, I can't think of a day in my life that I enjoyed more than that. Draper knew how special it was to me, and when I was in the hospital, having my heart operated on, he bought me a miniature antique carousel music box that plays the most beautiful tune.
You've got some very beautiful memories. You hang on to them, you cherish them. You're very lucky. A lot of people don't even have that.
No, the dreams I've been having lately aren't nightmares. As a matter of fact, I haven't had any nightmares in a while.
Well, that's something anyway.
I guess so. It's kind of easy to figure out why I haven't. It's because my own life has been kind of a nightmare these past few months.
Oh, no, don't think that way. Don't say that, really. I mean, your life has been hard. It's been very, very hard, but it's still life. There's still a lot of good things in it. You got your health, you got your baby, your family, friends.
Yeah. I got some good friends, you know. I've appreciated them a lot. They've helped me. They've helped me through this whole thing. Especially you.
Oh, shucks, man.
Want some more tea?
Yes, please, thank you.
Well, maybe I should go back and get it.
One.
Oh, I'm sorry. The music box, carousel. It's up in Oakdale.
Oh, yeah? Listen, if you want to go look for it, I'm free on Saturday. We could drive up there this weekend.
Yeah? Thanks. No, it's silly. It's not that important.
Yeah, you'll be back there in a week or so anyway, won't you?
Yes, just as soon as Julia's ready to leave the hospital.
That's what I thought.
Gotta face it sooner or later. Empty house.
Empty? No house with a baby in it is empty. They fill it up very thoroughly. You can ask me.
I forgot. I'm talking to an expert, child-rearing expert.
Anything you want to know, you know who to come to.
I will.
Listen, when you do get back to Oakdale, there's a favor you could do for me.
What's that?
Well, almost sorry I brought it up now. Yeah, that letter I told you about, you know, the one that Raven gave you, giving you permission to raise Jamie any way you want to.
The infamous letter.
I've been thinking about it, and I think I'd like to have it. It would be very useful if I ever get into a custody fight with Raven.
Yes, it would. It certainly wouldn't make Raven look like a loving, caring mother.
It's important, April. I wouldn't ask you for it if it wasn't. I don't want to get you in the middle of this any more than you want to be.
I know.
Forget it. I'm sorry I brought it up. Stupid. File it. Let it go. Let's polish off the rest of this meal and get over to that hospital. I'm anxious to meet that daughter of yours.
You know, before we get started, Mr. Karr, Mike, never mind. This is the transcript for the Stemkovich trial.
All right, thank Logan for me. As soon as I go over this, I'll call him and set up an appointment so we can discuss it at the case.
Of course. You know, Mike, Mr. Karr, we have been considering me for an appointment in this firm, and look, I'd like to know where I stand. I mean, one way or the other.
Well, I haven't meant to keep you hanging, Cliff. As I'm sure you realize, taking on an associate is a major step, and I wanted to be absolutely certain that I'm picking the right person.
I understand. I just want you to know that it's all right with me whichever way it goes. I mean, I'll be fine. I'll get a job as a lawyer in a storefront somewhere.
Storefront lawyers serve a very important function.
I knew it. I didn't get the job.
I didn't say that. Why this defeatist attitude all of a sudden?
Well, I got to prepare myself for the axe to fall.
Have I given you any indication of that?
Well, you are checking up on me.
Well, of course I am, as I would any prospective employee.
I'm not your average prospective employee, Mr. Karr. I mean, let's face it. I'm not the kind of lawyer that you're going to see on television. You're never going to see Cliff Nelson, attorney at law, unless it's a situation comedy.
Why do you say that?
You haven't noticed? You don't remember your best china all over the dining room floor? I mean, you haven't noticed that I happen to have 2 left feet and 2 left hands?
Cliff, it's your head I'm concerned about.
Yes, I'm concerned about it, too. You see, there's my mouth. You observed that I have the ability to say the wrong words at the wrong time. I keep putting my foot in it.
It must be a very uncomfortable position.
Believe me, it is. I just don't want to embarrass you, sir.
Cliff, there's nothing wrong with your feet, your mouth, or your head when you were in that courtroom.
You see, that's the one place where I can get it together.
I think you're being too hard on yourself.
Thank you, sir, but I just want you to know that it's been an honor just being considered for this job, and there'll be no hard feelings when you turn me down.
Now it sounds as if you're asking to be rejected. Have you changed your mind about leaving the DA's office?
No. I've turned in my resignation already. In fact, I'm sure Logan is out having it framed right now.
Cliff, I have done extensive checking into your background. Would you care to know what I've learned about you?
No. Yes, of course I would. You don't have to happen any bullets for me to bite on, do you?
I spoke to Logan, and to several judges I know who you've tried cases before.
Oh, no.
They all feel that you're a very accomplished young attorney.
Really?
I also approached some of my clients, since you could be handling their cases. Now, some of them know you by reputation. Others have actually seen your trial work. Without exception, they expressed complete confidence in your ability.
They did?
What I'm saying is, if you want the job, it's yours.
You mean this?
Of course.
Wow! When do I start?
Well, first you'd better talk to Logan and figure out how long it will take you to wind up your business in the DA's office. As far as I'm concerned, you can start as soon as you like.
Thank you, Mr. Karr. You're not going to regret this, I promise.
Glad to have you aboard, Cliff.
And I want you to know that from now on, I'm a changed person. From now on, I'm going to be a well-bred, refined attorney.
Let's not expect too much.
Well, I got to get back to my office. My old office. And tie up that business we talked about. Thank you very much, Mr. Karr.
Cliff.
Yeah?
Your briefcase.
Of course. Thank you again, sir. I'm sorry.
That's all right, Cliff.
And as far as my social graces, I'm going to work on them.
I'll talk to you later, Cliff.
Now, Logan, wait till you see her. You two see for yourself whether Draper and I didn't produce an absolutely perfect girl.
Can I help you?
Oh, yes, I'd like to see my daughter, Julia Scott.
Oh, the Scott baby. Has Dr. Buckley spoken to you yet? I know she said she was going to try and reach you.
Well, no, is something wrong with my daughter?
Oh, no, not at all. When Dr. Buckley made rounds this morning, she said your little girl would be ready to leave us in a few days.
Really? You mean she's strong enough to go home?
In all probability, you can have her home by the weekend.
Well, that's terrific.
Well, I don't believe it.
I'll have Miss Scott brought to the window.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Oh, I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm ready. I just never thought it was going to happen.
You're gonna be fine.
Oh,
It's like waiting for a movie.
this
Come on,
weekend.
never-
much she's grown. Look at her.
She looks healthy to me.
Oh, but listen. Oh, don't cry. Look, I want you to tell me. I'm not gonna put. Isn't she the spitting image of her daddy? Huh? Hello.
Yes, she is.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Julia. I want you to meet your Uncle Logan. Yes, he's a very nice man, and I know you're going to get to know him, and you're going to like him too.
Yeah, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but you're going to transit it real soon. You're going to be home in just a few days now. Gosh, look at that.
I can't wait to hold her. You know, I have never held her.
No? A treat coming.
Oh,
She is a beautiful baby.
thank you. I think so too.
You know, I think this is the part of my job I really enjoy the most.
Yeah, I bet.
It's always so wonderful to see the parents of a newborn child together.
yeah,
I
you're
wish
not-
you every happiness.
Well,